Welcome to Forever, man. Let's go. Come on.
Yo guys, welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm here with 3 of my Subto.com students and friends. Who do we got here?
What's up, guys? I'm Harrison Krueger. IG's Harrison M. Krueger. Get at me. I'm
Love it.
here.
Hey guys, I'm Melvin Markley. IG is Mel the Martian.
Love it.
And my name is Justin. Last name NG, just 2 letters. I don't have an IG, but I have a Facebook, so find me there. Facebook.
That's all he's got, guys. He's like Share. NG is his last name. It's super dope. Guys, this is a special episode of The Real Deal. You know, we like to go through the properties that we are either in the middle of acquiring or we just closed escrow on, whether it's a house that we're going to fix and flip, a house that we're going to buy on seller finance, or in this situation, it's kind of crazy. This is a house that we bought, no equity, and doesn't cash flow through a traditional rental. So I'm gonna have Harrison, who actually was involved in this transaction. He's a real estate agent here locally in Las Vegas, Nevada. By the way, any one of these boys can help you guys out in these types of situations. We're gonna tell you what happened on this house, how we're monetizing on it, and how you guys can do the same thing. So Harrison, what's the story of this house?
So basically the seller of the house just got a VA loan on this in January. COVID happens, they're looking to walk away from it. Our buddy Dylan Good in the Subto crew from West Virginia has reached out to me because I'm in Vegas to comp the property. And so I just give him the details. It's probably not gonna be a good rental. It happens to be in Henderson, so I think maybe Airbnb, but that doesn't even turn out to be the
Why
play.
doesn't that turn out? The HOA.
HOA, yeah, the HOA won't let you do the short-term rental, but hey, the corporate rental is where it's gonna be at.
Yeah, I think the corporate rental. So a couple of things that Harrison just talked about. Number 1, Dylan Good. We're gonna talk about where the lead came from. Number 2, why does a VA loan matter in this situation? Why bring up a VA loan?
Because they were 0% down, so they don't really care about walking away.
So listen to that. So first off, Harrison knows that, being a real estate agent in Vegas. He knows that if you go out and acquire a property like the seller who sold this property to us, he acquired this property back in January utilizing a VA loan, which means he put $0 down and the VA funded a mortgage to him, right?
Yeah.
So what that means is in January, do you guys think the property appreciated enough with a 0 down situation? No, right?
Didn't do anything.
So what happened along the way, my understanding with the seller is that he tried to list it with a real estate agent. Real estate agent laughed at him like, dude, you have no equity. You can't sell the house.
Come to closing with some money.
Well, being an agent on a house like this, I think acquisition cost is $280. He owes $280. So there's literally, it's like right on par.
Yeah.
If you're an agent, how much would you tell your seller that they would have to bring to the table? Probably 20 grand?
Yeah, 20 grand, close to it.
What are they paying the 20 grand for people? It's crazy. A lot of people, understanding traditional real estate is like putting on a pair of pants for you. Same thing for me, right? But other people watching this video would be like, why would a seller have to bring $20,000 to sell his own house?
Because there's no equity. He's gonna have to pay the 2 sides agents. He's gonna have to pay for his portion of the closing costs. He's gonna have to pay the transfer tax and probably a list of things that I'm forgetting, but
Crazy
just
stuff.
to sell his own house.
Crazy. So the seller was in a bad situation. He bought the property. Do you remember why the seller? You heard the phone call with me on the seller. Do you remember why he didn't want this house anymore?
I believe he was moving out of state.
Yep.
And I think that was a big deal. He was moving out of state.
Yeah. So he got a job opportunity in Denver, Colorado, knocking doors for a solar company, right? And so when I got on the phone with him, I go, dude, why are you selling this house? First and foremost, why would you abandon the house? Why don't you just turn around and rent it out? And he's like, dude, I'm not a real estate investor. I just want to live my life. I don't want to have a house I'm tethered to. Okay, great. Well, how do we work this out?
0 down for it. So.
Right. So I said, what's it going to take to get this deal done? And how'd that conversation go when I got on the phone?
The first conversation, he wanted $10,000. He wanted $10,000 down. And I believe we called him back a couple of days later, and I was amazed by how quick the conversation went from 10,000 down to taking 0. Crazy.
So here we are. We're about to close escrow over at a title company a couple miles away. We're going to do a little bit of video over there as well. And we're $0 to buy this deal. So Dylan Good, how did Dylan get the lead? Do you remember that?
Yeah, so in Subto course, they Pace talks about getting $0 leads and basically just how to get hold of wholesalers. So Dylan's from West Virginia. Co-wholesaler
Dude,
reaches out to him
that's
from
a whole other
Vegas.
part of this. I didn't even realize Dylan Good, who got paid on this deal, doesn't even live in Vegas.
Nope. He just posted on our Facebook. He's like, "Yo, who can help me out with something in Vegas?" I said, "Yo, what do you got?"
So what was that conversation like? When you originally looked at this deal, what was that conversation like?
I was like, I mean, good luck. I was like, I don't have the answers for you right now, but I'm sure Pace will have something.
Well,
because
this
isn't going to work.
This was probably 6 weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you've learned a lot of things since then, which is really cool, right?
Yeah.
So now you being a traditional real estate agent and you guys being here in Vegas, number one, your wholesale leads now become opportunities, and number two, you guys can go lead with value, meaning you can go sit down with real estate agents, wholesalers, and other fix and flippers and say, look, I have opportunities and I have strategies that other people can't emulate. I'd love to take a look at any leads that you don't want or leads that you can't do anything with. So what's funny is Dylan learned something in the Subto group, how to get free leads, all the way from West Virginia, gets a lead from a wholesaler. Did the wholesaler live here in Phoenix? Or in Vegas?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, gets a lead on a Vegas house, seller in distress that nobody's been able to solve. And Bobby and I drove up to take a look at the property. So why don't we go through the house and take a look at it?
Let's do it.
So do you deal with any rentals here in Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what would you say needs to be rent ready on this property?
It needs appliances, and obviously the smoke detector needs a battery.
Aren't those bugging you?
Yeah, that's kind of ring my ears. But other than that, I mean.
So the tile, like you were mentioning something. So I don't own any real estate in Vegas. This will be my first real estate Vegas home.
Okay.
Okay. You mentioned something earlier that it's okay to have multiple styles of tile in Vegas. Is that like a common thing?
I mean, for it to be rent worthy, yeah,
Okay, cool.
It don't matter. But to own it or to like sell it to somebody else, that's definitely going to be something.
So if
for
I called you,
concessions.
Harrison, I said, I want you to list my property, which you do listings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I asked you to come list this property, you'd be like, yo, we might want to think about
You
matching
might
the
want
tile.
to, yeah, as well as the baseboards. Yeah, but besides that, like rental, easy.
Got it. Okay, so the house is basically rent ready. And if we go through here, you'll see they just put this, this is called cookies and cream. I've used this 1,000 times. It's like fix and flip special. They use cookies and cream. They put brand new appliances back in January. So all we really need, what you were mentioning, is we need a fridge, we need a washer and dryer upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And what about, like, do we need to paint the house?
No.
No, so no painting, no major repairs that I'm aware of.
You could charge extra for the washer dryer too.
Charge extra for the washer and dryer. Most people that are gonna buy the house, they're gonna supply their own fridge because that seems like a personal item. But like for a rental, I need to supply that. And so what I'm actually going to do is, let's see if you can rehearse it. What is my actual exit strategy? I know we glanced on it a couple minutes ago out front, but what is the actual exit strategy here and why?
All right, so basically, rather than trying to go with we know that the Airbnb is not going to work because the HOA said no to that. But since it's still such a thin of a deal, we know we can't do a regular rental and we can't sell it. So luckily, through the connections and it being proximal to the airport, the corporate rental is going to be the exit strategy.
So what kind of people are going to live in this property?
Momentary people come in and stay in, like pilots and stewardess, travel nurses. Yeah, people only here for maybe conventions or just very, very momentary.
Perfect. So what will end up happening is you'll get a corporate rental company that will manage accounts like Southwest Airlines, Delta, those types of companies. And they'll bring airline pilots and stewardess in here that don't want to stay on the strip, because this is like, what, a mile away from the strip?
Yeah.
And it's half a mile away from the airport. So you're gonna get airlines that wanna use this property. You're gonna get also traveling nurses that come stay here for 6 months at a time. The HOA will allow short-term rentals, but they have to be at least a month. So what Airbnb is gonna work for a month-long stay in Vegas, right? People come in for the weekend, they leave. Right, so it kills the deal. Anyway, the property is super crispy. Like, let's go through, Bobby, real quick, and I'll let you get some B-roll on this stuff too. But like, we'll go through. We need a fridge. I think these are like the major things. Is like you're missing outlet covers. You got ugly baseboards down there. So what's happening is the only other thing that I don't like about the property is upstairs in the loft. There's like separating wood, and it's almost like It's almost like somebody put water here and caused the wood to separate, but I think ultimately what it was is the homeowner tried to do a remodel themselves. Like, but this is the kind of stuff you see when a homeowner does their own work. I'm sure, Harrison, like when you're doing listings for people and you look at like the work on their house, like you did the freaking work yourself, right?
Put custom.
Yeah, custom, hand built. So I'm gonna clean up the inside of the tubs. The tubs are kind of yellowed a little bit, but I'm gonna clean those up. Probably put some new linoleum here and just clean up the property. I'll probably spend about $1,000 on the reno, and then get a corporate rental company to come in here and rent the property from me for about $400 above the usual rental market rate. So I'm not going to do a whiteboard video on this. Usually Bobby and I will break down a whiteboard video and kind of break that down, but I'm going to reserve that for the Subto.com students and show them how this works out. Real quick, what do you guys like about like the fact that you guys are learning creative financing, but you actually get to come to a property that I'm buying, you get to watch the process, and then afterwards, like when I close escrow, I throw the HUD into our Subto Facebook group and go, yo guys, this is how I bought it, this is what it cost, this is where the money came from. Then when I renovate it, I go, hey guys, I spent $1,000, and then when I get a rental agreement on it, I throw that into the Subto group and go, I'm making $400 a month on a non-cash flowing, no equity deal.
It goes from abstract to substance, like that.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Thanks.
I mean, because that's how I learn personally. Like I need to see somebody doing it.
Yes.
I don't learn well in theory. Like in school, I could not sit still. I'm like, teach me. Mm-hmm. Like let's go learn physically, right? What is that type of learner? You got
kinesthetic.
There you go. That's me, right? And are you guys all the same way?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like show me, take me on the appointment. Let me see you call sellers. Like you watch me call this seller on this house, and you watch me close the seller, and then the seller throw a wrench in the thing. The seller, what happened to the seller like halfway through the transaction?
I think he he got another offer, and I think he was trying to get out of this deal, and that's when Pace got on the line with him and closed the entire deal.
What did I say to him? Did anybody hear that call with the seller? The second call where I told the seller, no, we're not.
They were not going to cancel.
Yeah,
that's
I did.
all I remember.
Yeah, that's basically it. It was about 15 seconds. So what I told the seller is
I
I said,
it went dead silent. Yeah, you said I'm not going to cancel, and you just went quiet, and
Yep.
then they didn't have any rebuttal.
I basically said, man, I've already rented the property out. So I don't know what to tell the family that's going to rent the property out. He's like, yeah, that's all right. Okay, so where should I leave the key? Just put it under the mat, bro. We'll be up there in a couple of days. And that's how that conversation went. But that's another part. Like when Dylan was going through this and he calls me, he goes, dude, this seller's trying to cancel. And it was like Friday night.
Yeah, you sweat.
I go, bro, chill till Monday. We'll handle it on Monday. He's like, you really want me to like not worry about this over the whole weekend? I go, yes, this is a learning opportunity for you to learn. Don't stress out about this stuff. I'll show you how to solve it. Just schedule a call with me and the seller. And I get on the phone and Dylan goes, dude, I sweated the whole weekend for nothing. Like that's typically what it is. Like you're overthinking something because you just haven't been through it yet.
Right.
So that's the cool thing is like showing you guys the whole process. And now when it happens to you and you have a seller like, look, I need to cancel. Sorry, just not gonna happen.
And I think that was the biggest nugget for me was that you stay in the control of your own emotion and therefore you stay in control of the whole transaction.
Right.
It's like, why would I respond so quick to this? Like there's absolutely zero reason why I need to deter my day and what I had planned just to answer or to come over whatever they had thrown at you.
Right, we let the seller chill for like 3 days. And then when I called him, it was we were on the phone less than 1 minute. It was quick, and I just said, hey man, I don't know what to tell the family that's already renting the property out. All I can tell you is we're not canceling. And then there was that awkward like 5-7 second silence where everybody that was watching the Zoom call was like, oh my gosh. And then he goes, all right man, sounds good. So where do I leave the key? Just put it under the mat. All right man, have a good day. It was a 1 minute call. So anyway guys, this is the real deal in Vegas. What I want you guys to do is I've got these 3 handsome gentlemen. We're gonna put their names and if they want, whatever you guys want, emails, your Instagram, whatever you guys want down below. If you're in Vegas, you're in the Vegas market and you have deals that are maybe too tight or you're a wholesaler that maybe bought it at 80 cents on the dollar and you don't know what to do with it because you can't sell it to a fix and flipper, call my team, reach out to my team here and they will help you convert that into something that you can monetize on. It is absolutely crazy what creative financing can do for you. And this is another episode of The Real Deal. Please like, please subscribe. Please take a look at everything else that we're doing and ask questions. What I want to see is, did you get value out of watching Harrison walk through the property? Was it kind of nice to see somebody else's face and hear somebody else's voice for a freaking turn? Please like, please subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode.
Forever, no surrender.